This week on Taking Back Happy, we're slowing things down and embracing the heart of the Christmas season. If you've been feeling the pull of busyness, guilt, or pressure to make everything perfect, this episode is your gentle reminder to just breathe. We're talking about savoring the moment right in front of us, finding rest without apology, and rediscovering joy in the people that we love. Grab a cozy drink. Mine is hot chocolate, but grab your favorite cozy drink and join me. This one's all about receiving the peace God is offering you in this Christmas season. Hi, friends. Welcome to Taking Back Happy. I'm your host, Gina Granville, God's girl, retired homeschool mom of 4, empty nester, Gigi, essential oil and exercise enthusiast, Christian life coach, and someone who is taking back her own happy. I know many of you feel exactly like I do in these midlife years, wondering if your best days are behind you, but feeling way too young and vibrant to sit on the porch and just watch life go by. What if you could replace negative thoughts with curiosity and possibility, renewing your mind, faith, joy, passion, purpose, and adventure in this season? If you're ready for a little mindset coaching as you navigate change, then throw on those walking shoes, pop in those earbuds, and join me right here as we take back happy together. Hey friend, do you want to connect with other women who are taking back their own happy? Then join me in the Taking Back Happy Facebook group. It's a great place to connect, to meet new people, to build our faith, to encourage one another, and maybe even just laugh a little bit. And if you want to go a little bit deeper, then become a TBH Insider. When you become a TBH Insider, you're going to get weekly emails with like the latest podcast, tips on creating a happy mindset, early bird access to special offers, and encouraging Bible devos. Now, let's get into embracing the season. So the other day I was being coached. I have a life coach myself, and I meet with her every so often. I was excited to meet with her because I've had a lot of change in the past few months. And I just wanted to kind of touch base and bounce some things off of her and things like that. And we went through a lot of things that I've been going through lately. And then she said, "Is there something specific that you would like coached on today?" And I said, there's really not. I mean, basically what we talked about. And so I just took a few minutes and I just kind of brainstormed everything that was going on. And of course, there was a lot of things going on because I always am doing a lot of stuff. And I like life that way. I like challenging myself. I like learning new things. I like stretching myself. I like growing and all of that. But as I was, being coached by her and I was telling her, there's these certain things that I'm doing. And I said, I just kind of want to like sit back and just like relax and watch some Christmas movies and like, put the lights down low and look at the Christmas tree and connect with my friends and connect with my family. I did this thing that we call in coaching, it's called a creation circle. And it's where you look at your thoughts and then what feelings they're causing and then what actions you take from there. And I was just like, I think I can do both and I can do both well. And this is my plan and blah, blah, blah. And, I felt like I had the right answer. You can see my little air quotes, right? I had the right answer. But she challenged me on that. And she was like, "Why don't you take the rest of the month off and just enjoy your family and your friends and your Christmas and your movies and all that?" And I just all of a sudden I got tears in my eyes and I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to do that. And so here I am, and I'm going to be spending the rest of December just really embracing the season and making the best of it. And all those things that I'm doing, my coaching and my podcast training and everything else, those are still going to be there in January. But I'm going to be spending time with the people I love and just fully embracing the season. If we're going to fully embrace the season, then there are a few things that we're going to have to do. The first one is to savor that present moment. Just being really mindful and being really present in each moment. In Philippians 4, 6, and 7, it says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God." You can be present without really being present. And I think about like when my kids were little, and I remember Matthew, he's my oldest, and he would be spending time with me and he'd be telling me all these things about sports. And I'd be kind of like sort of tuning him out. He'd be telling me this team's better than this team and this team's doing this. And he always just loved sports. And so he was telling me all these things. And I had to like purposefully stop what I was doing and say, this is really important to him. And I had to be really purposeful in listening. I had to be present in that moment. Another thing that we have to do if we're going to embrace the season is we need to let go of guilt and we really just need to embrace rest. And that sounds kind of cliche, but we really do. We want to prioritize rest and self care without guilt or shame. In Matthew 11:28-30, Jesus reminds us, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." Rest might be literal rest, or maybe it's baking cookies with your friend, or maybe it's going to the Nutcracker with your daughter. Maybe it's a bazillion Christmas movies. I know with my daughter-in-law, we're always like texting back and forth. And she's like, "Oh, I watched this really good Christmas movie." And I'll do the same thing. "Oh, have you seen this one?" And it's been this really cool point of connection. And it's something that we both really, really love. And I was like, "Oh, I wish you guys were in town right now because this is a perfect time of year." My son works really late because he works for the TV station. So he doesn't even get off till midnight on most nights. And I was like, we could be watching all those movies and doing all those things. But the way we're doing it now is we just like message each other. "Have you seen this one? How about this one?" And we're really making it kind of fun that way. Which brings me to my last point for embracing the season. And that's really just connecting with loved ones and finding joy. And, I think about like last night. Well, it's been like over a week since I had talked to Finn. I'll FaceTime him and he's up in Knoxville now. And so I contacted his mom and dad and I was like, "Hey, I need a Finn fix. I haven't talked to him in a while." I talked to him on the phone last night. We were FaceTiming. He was running around and he was showing me all these things. And the funny thing is his mom gave him the phone. And so really I'm just looking at the ceiling most of the time. And he read me a book and it was so cute. He read Frog and Toad and all the things that went on with that. And we did all these things. And I know his mom had said, "You need to be getting to bed by 9." And so I kept telling him, I was like, "I think it's getting close to 9. You need to go brush your teeth and go potty and get ready for bed." And of course, he had a million reasons why he didn't want to do that. So I had to go pick some things up from the store because I was hosting a class tonight and I just went ahead and took him with me. I was like, "All right, well, just go with me." And so I just took my phone. I still had the FaceTime on and I went to the store and I was showing him some different things I was picking up. And I was like, "Ooh, we're going to do this for my party and we're going to do that. And I'll show you this and that." And I was letting him help me choose things and all that. It was just so much fun. And then he started singing this song. And so he's really into the 12 Days of Christmas. And so he started singing the 12 Days of Christmas, and I had him on speaker, and everybody could hear him singing at the top of his lungs, 5 golden rings. It was really, really funny. But I would not have traded that for $1 million. Just the importance of like meaningful relationships and joy and togetherness. And even though we're not together, we're far apart from each other, with modern technology, we can still kind of be together. In Luke 2:10 and 11, it says, "But the angel said to them, 'Do not be afraid. I bring you good news that will cause great joy for all people.'" And I think that's really the last way to embrace this season and really the best way. just having that relationship with Christ and celebrating his birth. And as we said when my kids were little, Jesus is the reason for the season. And one of the things we did when my kids were young was really all the way through their teenage years is we had a party every year, and it was a happy birthday Jesus party. And we had all our friends come over. We baked cookies, we made crafts, they played outside, the moms chit-chatted. It was such a special celebration, and we did it every year from the time my kids were really, really small until the time that they were teenagers. And we all looked forward to that every year. We acted out the Christmas story. It was a lot of fun, and it really did put the focus where I wanted the focus to be, right? And I think that's the point. You get to decide what you want to do and how much of your faith you want to celebrate. And, do you want to go to a Christmas Eve service? Do you want to, celebrate a happy birthday Jesus party? Do you want to just reflect quietly? It's up to you how you want to celebrate. So as you move through this Christmas season, remember you don't have to do it all. You don't have to experience every single thing. You can kind of slow down, kind of like what I'm doing right now. Just slow down, breathe, let yourself really enjoy, just the time with your family, the time with your friends, what God is offering you right now, where you are. Kind of release the guilt of like, oh my gosh, I'm not getting my podcast training done. I'm not getting this done. I'm not getting that done. And just really embrace grace and peace and know that it's okay to rest and simply just be and relax and all those kind of things that we're not used to doing, or at least speaking for myself, I'm not used to doing. So my Taken Back Happy friends, as of today, the day of recording, we have 2 more weeks before Christmas. And you get to decide what that is going to look like. Maybe you're going to be like me and you're going to just slow down and put some things aside and just really fully embrace the season and the people and just all the Christmas magic. It's up to you what you want it to look like. But for me, I'm going to be sitting in front of that tree and drinking cocoa and meeting up with some friends and going to see Christmas lights and resting in those small moments of peace and lots of laughter, lots of fun. And also just a reminder that, you are not alone during this season. I know a lot of times we can feel that way. And I just want you to know that you are not alone, and feel free to contact me at any time. Everybody needs a friend all the time, but especially this season, because I think it just really exasperates. Like, if you feel alone, it makes that aloneness feel more. So contact me on socials, hop in the Taking Back Happy Facebook group, go ahead, become a TBH Insider, all the things that are going to make you feel loved and supported during the season. Let's embrace this Christmas season together. If this podcast blessed and encouraged you today, I'd love for you to share it with your friends. You can take a screenshot and share it in your stories, but make sure you tag me at Gina Granville so we can connect. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Make sure you join my Taken Back Happy Facebook group. I'll meet you back here soon, and we'll continue taking back happy together.